it's a teaching by a great Bodhisattva back in India in ancient times, in ancient Buddhist times. And in that text, in that teaching, it talks about this one section where it talks about, it says that once we have generated compassion, then whether we're eating or walking or talking, that at all times that it's meritorious. You know? And in this context, that's something that we have to try to achieve, accomplish. That whether we are doing any I don't know if it's the right word to say, anything mundane, you know, even if you're picking a nose or something, we do it meaningfully, you know. I'll just say a few things about something that we always do every day. And that of taking of refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. Now that we have created an atmosphere of where we are coming from, where we are, then we must touch one of the basic practices, yes, formal practices, that of taking a refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. In a traditional manner, it says that often the cause for taking refuge normally comes from very simply having fear, actually. And because of that, then the instinct somehow takes over and feels that there is a need to, you know, yes, somehow the cause for it. It's very, very basic. Of course, to ourselves, now the cause for taking refuge or practicing refuge is much more than that, much more than it's, well, somehow we have transcended from there, one could say, as we should be. Yeah? That it's not just because of fear, but now the reason why we take refuge, the reason why we practice it is because of none other than that, the thing that I was saying earlier, that it is, the cause is none other than compassion. It is due to compassion for others that I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. And therefore, the way we view particularly that of the main aim of refuge, which is the Buddha, will be seen in a different way. We will relate to it in a way that where we normally relate to heroes, basically, you know, or the way we relate to inspiring individuals, inspiring beings. I say heroes because it's a very simple term and everyone can relate. And we all have that in our mind. From the moment we're able to think, we all have our heroes. Yeah? And it's in the same way that when we think of that kind of example, then in short, what happens is that we want to become them. Yeah. We want to become exactly like them. Yes. That's why children then dress up as their in those particular uniforms and run around, you know. It's because they want to become them. Yeah? So it's in the same way that because we see something inspirational in that of someone who's experienced, someone who's kind, someone who's compassionate, that we want to become them. And what we see, as I said, the main thing that we see is that they are extremely caring. And that's what we want to become, you know. So I think that's how we approach. Maybe there are other ways of approaching in your own ways, but at least from my own side, that's how I see it. That because we see what they do and something inspirational, and then we just want to become them. Then automatically, such as that of taking refuge in the Dharma and Sangha, automatically follows. How did that particular hero achieve all of that? Or basically, how do they live? How do they walk and talk and whatnot? And in the forms of the Dharma, one particular way is that it's basically a series of explaining how someone actually lives and walks and talks. For example, if you focus on the 84,000 teachings, if you focus on that of the Vinaya, basically it talks nothing but how someone lives, basically, day in, day out. You know, that's it. And in the same way, then in the teaching it describes, then it focuses on how a mind is actually functioning.